Better Things is a TV show that seems to have slipped under the radar for most people. Created by Pamela Adlon and a man of which I don't really care for. This show is about a working actor and single mother, Sam Fox, as she tries to raise her 3 daughters, Max, Frankie, and Duke, in Los Angeles, while also looking out for her mother, Phil, because she lives just across the street from them. From the beginning theme song, you know the dynamic of the family. The theme song being Mother by John Lennon, which is one of my favorite songs of his. Sam is trying to understand and care for her daughters, while their father doesn't really seem to have time for them. He's always on vacations, in quotation marks, or he's always working and can't spend time with him. And the times that he does spend with him, it feels very weird. And it feels like you kind of like want to punch him, you know? He just has like a punchable face, and he's just all around a punchable guy. The character, not the actor. I can really relate to this TV show, not just because I have 2 other sisters and a mom that would do anything for me, but because of the dynamic of the characters. The family seems to never connect extremely well with one another, but it's their love for one another that keeps them from separating. I wanted to write this video essay because I love the show and will continue to always go back to it whenever I feel like I need it. Also because they just had their last season ever. Forever. They're never coming back. I mean, maybe. I don't know. There's a possibility. The 5th and final season of the show was very interesting, especially the last episode. The first episode starting out where Sam finds out more about her family, and she's kind of been trying throughout season 4, I believe. She's been trying to kind of look into her family tree and her family, like her ancestry, and she has been discovering more and more about her own, I want to say like identity, or like just her own family in general. And the last episode of the season with her driving alone in the middle of nowhere in the desert. I feel like this season talked a lot about life and death and like growth and change, especially change because in episode 6 of season 5, Sam starts directing for the first time in her career. In season 4, she definitely like wanted to take a break from acting, and then she got a directing gig in season 5. So that's a big change for her. In episode either 1 or 2, Frankie gets her first job. In episode 9, Phil moves to England along with Max, which is a huge spoiler, but I put a spoiler warning, so hopefully you listened, which was one of my favorite episodes, I got to admit. England is the name of it. It's just, I don't know what it is. I started crying after the siblings found out that Max is moving and like staying in England, and they started like crying at the end, because I could just like imagine like if one of my siblings moved somewhere very far away, how I would feel. I still don't know how I feel about the very last episode. Episode 9 felt a little bit too empty to end with, like a little bit too like what's gonna happen next to end with, because you don't want to end that with your final season of a show. But episode 10 didn't really leave me with the nice warm feeling I usually feel after the final episodes of other seasons. Maybe that's what she wanted though. Maybe she didn't want it to be the same ending, which would make sense realistically because she's trying to end an entire show, and it could be quite difficult. I guess. I've never done that, but I'm guessing. So maybe that's why I just didn't feel a huge connection to the last episode, but not to say that it wasn't a good episode. I don't know, maybe I need to watch it again, and I'll get back to you on how I feel about it. The last episode starts with Duke making some type of artsy video for something, which we never really know why she does it, but that's okay. It was very strange, but it was really fun to watch. Then it went into Sam looking at her childhood home, when some random guy is introduced briefly that lives in the house currently. It could be like showing that with the uncovering of her childhood and her, you know, her identity and her family, because he invited her to look at the place. Duke's fish is getting too big for its tank, so they throw it into a salt water river. They are told that it will have a low chance of survival. Then they show us one last dinner party that they have, because they have a lot of dinner parties throughout the show, followed by a musical number by all the main and side characters, which I don't know how I feel about that. I think she wanted to add it because, like, you're kind of one with the characters. Like, you are a part of their journey throughout the entire thing. So it's like saying goodbye to your family and your friends. So I think that's probably why she wanted to add that in there. And they like all wave goodbye looking directly at the camera, like breaking that fourth wall. So I get how some people would be turned off from that. And then it ends with Sam driving in the middle of nowhere alone. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, that's a lot of info. I'm sorry about that. I love that Pamela plays around with this show because she's very free, and it just kind of flows easily. And I've honestly never seen a show that's not super just loosey-goosey, if you get what I mean, which I think makes the show feel very realistic and relatable because of that aspect. But the season, the dialogue was just, oh my god, it was sometimes like very painful to like watch. And some of the interactions were like very forced. It was mainly from the kids' parts, not really Pamela's acting, but she's acted in more things, so it would make sense. But the kids' dialogue was sometimes, it felt very forced and sometimes very cringy to watch. And I don't know if that's like how she wanted it to be, or maybe she just wanted that specific line, and usually most of it is just kind of improvised. But I really appreciate how she made it mostly about Sam in the last episode, because the show is about her, but I think that you could argue that most of the show wasn't about her because of her children, her friends, and her family taking up most of the space in the scenes. What I mean by this is that it mostly shows other people with her. Like, she's never really alone. With all of that being said, it did give me the closure that I needed in the end. Thank you, Better Things and Pamela Adlon, for showing us the beauty and chaos in the small moments with family, friends, and in life. All right, it is Friday, April 29th, 2022. I just finished recording this video, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I am a huge fucking fan of Pamela Adlon. I honestly didn't really make this video with like a specific purpose in mind. I just wanted to kind of like talk about a show that I really like. I don't know if these video essays will continue because I'm very indecisive about everything that I do, but if they do, then I was thinking about making one about Transparent, which is another one of my favorite TV shows in the world. I don't know what it is. I just love family dynamics. Dysfunctional family dynamics. I was gonna do one about togetherness. I was also gonna make one about Kajillionaire, or just like the future, just like me and you and everyone we know, or just like about Miranda July in general, and a lot more too. I like a lot more movies than that. Please go watch Better Things on Hulu. It's on Hulu. Subscribe, like this video. Thank you so much for watching. I don't know what that was. Bye-bye.